Ever wonder why a lemon makes you pucker your lips, but soap just tastes, well, awful? It's not some kind of magic. It's chemistry. And today, we're going to dive into these invisible forces, acids and bases, that pretty much shape our entire world, from the food we eat to the stuff we use every single day.
Yeah, the answer to that really lies in two powerful and kind of opposite chemical families, acids and bases. They're in this constant dance all around us, a fundamental push and pull that actually makes life itself possible. So, let's get to know them a little better, shall we? Okay, so what are acids and bases exactly? To figure that out, let's do what the very first chemists did and just start with our senses.
So on a really basic level, you can think of acids and bases as chemical opposites. They're kind of like the yin and yang of chemistry. Acids, like the citric acid in lemons that gives them that zing, they taste sour. And bases, which are sometimes called alkalis, they're bitter and feel kind of slippery, like soap. Now, and this is a big one, please do not go around taste testing your cleaning supplies. Seriously. Luckily, chemists came up with a much, much safer way to tell them apart: litmus paper. An acid will turn this special paper red, while a base turns it blue. A simple and way safer test.
So this litmus paper, it's what we call an indicator. It's basically any substance that changes color to show us the chemical nature of whatever it's touching. And here's a cool fact. The dye in litmus paper, it actually comes from lichen, which is this fascinating little organism that's part fungus, part algae, just hanging out together. And it turns out, nature is full of these little chemical detectives.
You've probably seen a natural indicator at work and not even realized it. Think about this. Ever get a curry stain on a white shirt? When you go to scrub it with soap, have you noticed it turns this reddish-brown color? Well, that's because the turmeric in the curry is a natural indicator. It's normally yellow, but when it meets a base, like soap, bam, it changes color. That's chemistry right there on your clothes.
Okay, but what's really going on here? Like on a molecular level, what gives something its acidic or basic power? Well, the secret ingredient, it turns out, is water.
All right. If you look at the chemical formulas for acids, like hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid, you'll spot something they all have in common: hydrogen. But, and here's the catch, so do things like sugar and alcohol. And you don't see them eating through metal, right? So just having hydrogen isn't the whole story.
This little experiment really shines a light on the answer. See, when you dissolve an acid in water, that solution can suddenly conduct electricity, and the bulb lights right up. So why does that happen? It's because in water, the acid releases these tiny, positively charged particles called hydrogen ions. You can think of them like little messengers, carrying the electrical charge through the water and completing the circuit. But they can only do that job when they're set free in water.
And this really drives the point home. If you take dry hydrogen chloride gas and touch it to a piece of dry litmus paper, absolutely nothing happens. It's not acting like an acid, yet. Water is the key that unlocks its acidic powers by letting those hydrogen ions break free and go do their thing.
All right, so we know what makes an acid, but what happens when these different chemical personalities actually meet? Let's take a look at how they react with other stuff.
Okay, when an acid and a base get together, they do something pretty remarkable. They neutralize each other. They basically cancel each other out. The hydrogen ions from the acid pair up with what are called hydroxide ions from the base, and they form, well, plain old water. What's left over combines to make something called a salt. And this is the exact idea behind antacids. If you have heartburn from too much stomach acid, you take a mild base, the antacid, and it neutralizes that extra acid. Acids can also be pretty dramatic when they meet certain metals. If you drop some zinc into an acid, you'll see it start fizzing away, making all these bubbles of gas. But what gas is it? Well, if you collect that gas and bring a flame near it, you get this loud pop. And that satisfying sound? That's the telltale sign of hydrogen gas. It's proof that the acid and the metal had a pretty intense chemical reaction.
Okay, so we've got strong acids and weak acids, right? And powerful bases and gentle ones. But how do we measure that strength? How can we be really precise about it?
Well, for that, we use something called the pH scale. And that little p actually stands for the German word Potenz, which means power. It's basically a scale from 0 to 14 that just measures the concentration of those hydrogen ions we were talking about. It's pretty simple. A low number means more ions, so it's more acidic. A high number means fewer hydrogen ions, so it's more basic, or what we also call alkaline.
And this scale covers a huge range of things we see every day. I mean, your own stomach acid is incredibly powerful, down around a 1 or 2 on the pH scale. Pure water? That sits right in the middle.
a perfect neutral 7. And then way up at the other end of the scale, you have something like drain cleaner, a super strong base with a pH of 14. And listen, this pH scale isn't just some abstract thing for chemists. It's literally a matter of life and death. Our blood has to stay in this very, very precise, slightly alkaline range just to keep us alive. Or think about your mouth. When bacteria create acids that drop the pH below 5.5, your tooth enamel actually starts to dissolve. That's why toothpaste is basic. It's designed to fight back and neutralize those acids. Our bodies are in this constant, delicate chemical balancing act. So just like that balance is crucial for our bodies, the controlled reaction of acids and bases is absolutely crucial for modern industry. And believe it or not, it all starts with something you definitely have in your kitchen: common salt.
Yep, that's right. Sodium chloride, the salt you put on your food, is one of the most important raw materials on the entire planet. It's the starting point for a massive industrial chain reaction.
It's all done using something called the chlor-alkali process. Let's break that name down. Chlor for chlorine and alkali for the strong base it makes. And the process itself is surprisingly straightforward. You basically just pass a really powerful electric current through salt water. And this jolt of electricity zaps the water and salt molecules apart, cleverly rearranging them into 3 new, incredibly useful chemicals. And these 3 chemicals, they are the foundation for so much of our modern world. The chlorine gas, that goes on to purify our drinking water and help make plastics. The sodium hydroxide, that's a key ingredient in everything from soap and detergents to paper and fabrics. Even something like baking soda starts its journey right here. It's this huge industrial ecosystem, all powered by simple salt and water. It's amazing, really. So when you think about it, from the acid in your stomach to the soap in your shower and the salt on your table, this invisible dance of acids and bases is really what makes our world work. It's not just something happening in a far-off lab, it is happening all around you, all the time. So, the next time you bake a cake, or clean a rusty tool, or even just enjoy a glass of lemonade, just take a second to think about the powerful, hidden chemistry that's at play. You really have a new lens now to see the world. So what other mysteries do you think you'll uncover?